and you've been very successful at using social media to get your views out into the world, right?
I would say that's an opinion.
Well, I'm asking your opinion. You've got hundreds of thousands of people who follow you on Twitter and Facebook, right?
No, not really, because my personal Twitter account doesn't exist anymore.
Before it was suspended by Twitter, you had hundreds of thousands of people following you on Facebook and Twitter, right?
All right, Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene there moments ago criticizing Twitter for taking her off the app. She's testifying in her defense to be allowed to run for re-election. It follows the January 6th attack at the Capitol and her alleged ties to it.
It's coming as the fight for free speech raging on this week in Silicon Valley. In fact, Tesla CEO Elon Musk now saying he will protect free speech, but only for humans if he buys the company. Musk tweeting this: "If our Twitter bid succeeds, we will defeat the spam bots or die trying." We'll bring our panelists back in. Jessie Jane Duff, Bobby Eberle, Jonathan Gilliam there. Just your reaction. Actually, Jessie Jane Duff, I'll go to you. If you had any thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene, some of the Republicans that really have faced backlash over this January 6th committee, potential alleged involvement, and then also social media suspensions of our congressional leaders. Your thoughts on this?
Well, Newsmax, we did a documentary called The Day of Outrage. I was in the documentary with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was never supporting the riots. She was never supporting people going into the Capitol. She describes, even in the documentary, how she and other Congresspeople had to be sequestered into a safe area and that it was a scary event. However, she has spoken out supporting those who have been imprisoned without due process, which is a very reasonable thing. We have to recognize that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are under attack because they're a threat of the left. They want to try to keep her from being able to run again, and yet she is very popular in her district. So let's just let the voters speak, because Marjorie Taylor Greene has made an impact and her voters, her constituents, support her fully. But the left wants to make sure they shut her down.
And she's off Twitter. And so is the former president, Bobby. But Elon Musk is now looking to take over Twitter here. Do you think that these individuals should be allowed back on the app? Do you think Elon Musk will prevail?
I think he will, and I think they will be back, because this whole idea of disinformation is all about conservative suppression, suppressing conservative voices, blocking them, banning them, throttling them, so that the only voice, the only information out there is information from the left. That's something we cannot let stand, and hopefully Elon Musk will actually come and save Twitter, because to rehab Twitter is so much better than trying to get a new platform to take root, and I hope he succeeds.
Jonathan Gilliam, your thoughts?
Well, you know, I've been throttled by all these different platforms. Facebook, my reach went from 1 million a night down to about 1,200. Twitter does it to me all the time. The reality is that these platforms are actually the same as a telephone now. We use these platforms to communicate socially and privately more than we do, in certain cases, the actual telephone. And I think the way that we look at this should be looked at the same way that we look at free speech in general, and this nonsense about, not it being an editorial platform is gone by the wayside. It's actually a communication platform, and I think that the way Elon Musk looks at it is perfectly in line with the way that this should evolve.
Conservatives were always told, if you don't like Twitter, build your own Twitter. Now, if other people take issue, I guess that message could be sent back to them. Jessie Jane Duff, Bobby Eberle, Jonathan Gilliam, our panel on this Friday. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful weekend.